Hello YouTube, me again. Today I'd like to talk about an important subject which is exercise. First point is I think it's important that everyone exercises regularly. Our bodies did not evolve to sit around all day, but we often do, and it's very easy. So I think it's important to spend a few minutes every day trying to replicate what your body was designed to do. Um, I think this applies to everyone. The older you get, the more important it gets because you're less inclined to move naturally and you're more susceptible to health problems. It seems to me that circulation is very, very important, and the body is designed to be in motion, and the blood flow is designed to be in motion, lymphatic system is designed to be in motion, and when it stops moving, you get all sorts of health problems because sort of waste products are not being transferred, not being got rid of effectively. Um, yeah, and yeah, basically our bodies are designed to move, and when they don't move, they start to develop health problems. So yeah, that's the most obvious thing, and why I think it's important. Also, it's fun. It makes you feel good. It helps regulate your mental health by regulating your body chemistry, your brain chemistry. Um, but you don't have to go crazy on it. I think so. What often happens with people is they decide they want to lose weight or get fit, and they push themselves too hard. They expect too much from themselves. What they visualize they can do in their brain, their body's not ready for yet. So I think it's very important to tailor your exercise to your level and be sensitive to um, where you are and what your body's telling you. And I don't believe in no pain, no gain. Or more specifically, it seems to me there's two types of pain. There's the pain that's just saying, I'm tired, I'd like to stop. And you can push through that, that's fine. That's just your body saying, do I really need to run up this hill? No, I don't need to, so why am I doing it? But we do it because it's good for us. But there's also the type of pain that says, uh, I'm now working beyond what my joints can handle or some part of my body can handle. And I think you have to listen to that because that's a warning of impending injury. If you don't listen to it, you may well get injured. And it's not easy to tell one type of pain from the other. I'm sure more experienced people than myself can help you on that. But the more you use your body, the more you'll get familiar with it, and you'll be able to understand the difference between just muscular fatigue, which you can push through to a certain extent, and something that's indicative of some kind of strain or potential damage. Um, so yeah, it's important. If you've overtrained, you will need to rest and give your body time for recovery. And that's another important subject. It's not just about the exercise; it's a complete package. So you need to. So basically, when you exercise, you break down the muscles, and then they rebuild stronger. So you've got to do the breaking down, but you've also got to give it time to rest and rebuild. You've got to give it good food, good fuel to give you the materials to work with. So that's all important. Um, what else? So one point before I start is uh, also never compare yourself to other people. I mean, sometimes depending on your personality type, a bit of competition, it can push you on and make you work a little bit harder. That's great. It's great to work out in groups. Um, but you also have to realize this is, for most people, you're not going to be professional athletes. Maybe you will be, but once you reach a certain age, it's more about just personal well-being and being the best person you can be. So don't compare yourself to other people, only compare yourself to yourself, because it's all about small, steady, incremental steps forward. You're not going to go from a couch potato to a professional athlete in a week. It's not going to happen. And the thing that trips up most people with exercise is they don't maintain it. Usually because they push themselves too hard, or they get very enthusiastic, but then they lose momentum. And I think if you go to a gym which is full of young, strong, healthy people, or some more competitive environment, and you're not in the best of shape, it's easy to feel like you're a failure. And to be honest, I think anybody, even if they are an athlete, is going to experience that, because there's always someone who's better at a particular thing than you are. You might be the best at the world at one thing, but there's always another guy who can do something else better than you. So yeah, by all means, look around you, see what other people are doing, keep your eyes open, but don't directly compare yourself to other people, because we all have different body types, different stages of life, different current levels of fitness, different skill sets. And don't worry about what other people think of you. If you're in a group where you're exercising with other people, there's always going to be some people who are competitive, even if you don't want to be. There's going to be other people who are going to be thinking in a competitive way, and they will possibly sort of drag you into their mindset. It can be useful, but just keep your eyes open to what's going on there, because if you're lifting more than you're ready for, or you're sacrificing your form to get more reps, or any number of things, that's going to hold you back. So don't worry about looking like a bit of an idiot or looking like you're weak. I remember when I started at the gym fairly recently, I was doing movements that were not familiar to me, and I used very low weights, and there were little girls lifting twice as much as I was. But I said to myself, I don't care, because every week I'm going to improve it. And in a fairly short period, I was getting up to weights that were, not quite so trivial, but still got a long way to go for that. As you see, I've got a headband on. It looks ridiculous. This is good, because if you don't take yourself too seriously, you won't fall into certain traps of ego traps, of sacrificing your own personal goals to impress someone else. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do some exercise and maybe say some things. Okay, so start with a few star jumps. So most important thing, an important thing, is warm up slowly, get everything moving. Star jumps are really good for that. I like them. You get kind of a bit of a stretch. They're not too difficult. Well, I don't find them too difficult. And you can speed them up a bit, or you can just do them nice and steadily. And yeah, it just feels good. You can think about your breathing, just opening up your chest, and yeah, it feels good. Breathing, of course, is very important, but just let it come naturally. I won't talk about that too much. Okay, now I'm just going to do some squats. Squats are pretty good, major muscle group, but it's said that the squat is one of the most important exercises, because most activities are powered by the leg in some way, and you're using the major muscle groups in the leg. Okay, some calf raises. This is, for me, mostly a stretch. It's a little bit of a strength element. Yeah, it's very important to stay flexible, and it does depend on what your objectives are. If you're purely looking to build the biggest muscles that you can to impress the ladies, then you might not put so much emphasis on stretches. Okay, now we're going to do some knee to elbow, whatever you want to call it. but it's called steam engines, or they've got other names. Yeah, so again, working the legs, a little bit of abs I find on this one. Keep your backs fairly straight for this. Okay, let's do a few push-ups. Great exercise. Some people find these quite difficult. And yeah, they're definitely one of the more difficult exercises because we don't use our arms that much in everyday life. Don't worry too much about how many you do. It's about good form, trying to keep your back straight. I would suggest you look elsewhere on YouTube for tutorials of how to do good press-ups, and if you struggle, some ways to make it easier for yourself, just to get started. Okay, just going to do some jogging on the spot. Again, just keeps everything moving. Okay. Now we'll do some toe touches. So I'm not very flexible in my legs. If you can get them straighter than this, then great. So this for me is mostly abs. Okay, a few of them. Okay, now I'll do some more press-ups. Okay, next do a plank. Great exercise for the core. Some people like to do this for a very long period of time, but we'll start with 30 seconds or so. So they say with plank it's important to tighten all the muscles around your butt and your stomach, and yeah, gives you good muscle definition after a while. It's a good one to work on your breathing as well, because there's not much going on, not much to think about, so just think about tightening your core muscles and your breathing. Okay. Okay, now we can try the tricky one. Tight press ups, not very good at these ones. So, hands a bit further forward and down. Really feel this in the shoulder. Okay. Now some bridges. So this is sort of, again, working your core. Feels quite good, might look a bit silly. It's good exercise. And you might find it useful if anyone is ever sitting on top of you. You might find these muscles quite useful for bucking them off. Next we've got some side plank. So, and get your body nice and straight, and sort of feel it here myself. Yeah, it's a nice exercise. Just think about your breathing and keeping all this part of your body nice and tight and straight. And on the side. Graceful as always. Right. More push-ups now. I'm going to do some wide push-ups. Just work slightly different muscles. Keep your arms nice and wide. You can probably see my form is not the best, but do what you can, and then record yourself. Obviously it's good to check your form, and then if you want to get more information, there's plenty of good stuff on YouTube. Okay, go back to some jumping jacks. I find it quite relaxing. Let's speed them up a bit if you're feeling energetic. Got quite a musical floor, as you may be able to hear. It's like a loose board. So yeah, so what else can we do? One thing I quite like is we've called a bird dog. This is good for your lower back. I've had some minor lower back problems from time to time, so I was looking for an exercise that would help me with that. This is what I found. So we lift the leg and the opposite arm, and let's say don't lift the leg too high, so yeah, just about parallel with your head at most. A few of those. And any of these exercises that require balance are really good because they work all the small muscles. So when you go to the gym and use a machine, it's isolating specific muscle groups, which is great for just working on those, but it's at the expense of the other supporting muscles. And if you're not careful, if that's all you do, you can create imbalances in your body. But these sort of exercises that just use your body weight, where you're having to balance and support yourself, they're working all the smaller muscle groups as well, and will give you much more functional strength, function and flexibility, and just things that you can actually use in your life. Of course, I mean, it depends what your objective is. If you're trying to build up some muscle bulk, then by all means pile on weights. And for everyone, a bit of weight training is good, but it should be balanced with some other exercises. So one thing I find important is I get bored quite easily of doing the same old exercises, particularly down the gym. So it's important for me to mix up my exercises and have a variety of different activities. So I might be going for a walk or jog in a an interesting route. I don't mind doing a bit of this, a few minutes a day of just repetitive exercises. I quite enjoy my martial arts, so if you've got a slightly more combative element in there, for me that works. I like that. It's exciting. A little element of what's the phrase? Kind of an element of danger that is like simulated. That's the word I'm looking for. Simulated danger. So I'm not necessarily looking to put myself in a life and death situation, but something that has elements of combating, triggers some part of my brain that makes it feel a little bit more exciting, injects a little bit of adrenaline in there, and I like that. But whatever you enjoy. So the main thing I would suggest to someone who is looking to do more exercise is try lots of different things and see what you enjoy. You may really enjoy pumping iron, or doing lots of press-ups, or running, or swimming, or I mean, there's so many different types of exercise, and as long as you don't injure yourself, they're all beneficial. They will all benefit. It's always better to do something than nothing. It doesn't really matter what it is, obviously, as long as you're protecting your health and avoiding injury. And then the more things you try, the better the chance that you'll find something that you really enjoy. And that's what's going to keep you moving, because I mean, there's many different theories on this, but it seems to me that people will not do things they don't enjoy for long periods of time. So I don't particularly enjoy press-ups, but afterwards I do feel good about myself and I get a bit of an endorphin rush and stuff. But if the only exercise I ever did would be press-ups, I would hate them. So variety is important, and feeling good after you've done a workout. You can feel physically exhausted, but you can feel great. And most of the time that's how you should feel. If you've been out of training for a while and you're trying to quickly regain some previous level of fitness, yeah, it's probably going to be hell. I remember I used to box, and I might be really into it for a few months, and then I'd take a break. And the level of athleticism required at our club was quite high, and I always pushed myself hard. So when I would come back, maybe I'd been off for, say, 2 months, for whatever reason. I'd come back and I'd throw myself into it, and I would feel sick by the end of that session. I would physically want to vomit. I think I managed to avoid that, but it was pretty close a couple of times. There may have been once or twice where, yeah, I had to rush to the changing rooms and let it out, because I was pushing myself. I was trying to recover a level of fitness that my mind told me I was capable of, but my body was not in agreement with. That's not the best way to do it, but it is what it is. So you may find yourself in that situation. I think it's particularly when you've been fit and you've let it lapse, and your mind is telling your body to do something, your body's like, no, I'm not capable of that, or I'm going to protest. So maybe you have to go through that, but most of the time you should leave an exercise session feeling great. And if you don't, you should look for a different type of exercise. It doesn't mean you should stop exercising. It just means that you're probably not doing the right thing for you. Of course, if you're a professional athlete, then I don't know why you're watching this, but yeah, you're going to have a different mindset. But I'm talking about the average guy who just wants to live a long and healthy life and be the best they can do. And I think in that case, it's all about sustaining it and finding something you enjoy. Okay, that's all I have to say on the matter for now.